Hi, Sarah Pacaro. Today's video is going to be about the impact of being raised to have no emotional needs. And that sounds crazy because we are humans, and as humans, we are emotional beings and emotional creatures. But what happens when you are raised to have no emotion? When your parents did not create an environment that you felt safe to express those emotions? What's the impact of that long term, right? You may think that, oh, it's fine. I've got it. I've got this good life. But then later on, big events seem to happen, like, death, divorce, like kids going out of the house. And all of a sudden, everything in your world seems to fall apart. And you link it back to your childhood and the way that you were raised, and that you were raised to not have emotional needs. And now you're feeling numb. You're feeling like you don't even know who you are anymore. And it's really, really taking its toll on your mental, physical, emotional well-being. So, first of all, how do you even raise a child to have no emotional needs? Because kids are massively expressive in their needs. They cry when they're upset, they throw tantrums when they're angry. But sadly, it turns out it's remarkably and shockingly easy to raise a child with no emotional needs. It is so easy that many, many parents, despite them being kind-hearted, loving parents, do it by accident. Despite wanting everything good for their child and despite trying to do everything right as parent, they inevitably end up raising a child who has no emotional needs or can't express them. In fact, raising a child to have no emotional needs is extremely easy. So much so that it's very scary. So we're going to get into that today and its impact in your relationship. For me personally, it led to me being in severely toxic narcissistic relationships, covert with malignant narcissists, until I peeled back the layers and discovered why. And now that is the transformation and journey that I take others on to heal from. So to raise a child with no emotional needs, first of all, you have to do a couple of special things, or rather not do special things. Childhood emotional neglect is not about so much that's what's done to you, but that's not done. So it's those invisible things. We're going to take a look at those in just a moment. Before we do, this might sound like you have no emotional needs, right? If so, you're joined by lots and lots of other people. First of all, understand if you're watching this video, you are not alone, but you may feel that you're alone because you may think and feel that you're an adult now. You're not a child anymore. You're over that stuff that happened in the past, and you should be strong. Meaning, if you are to be strong, you need little help from other people. You've got this. You are severely independent. You don't want to rely on anyone. You don't trust anyone. And you don't feel safe to let others in, especially emotionally. You find that being vulnerable, it leaves you feeling, I don't even want to go there, right? This wall up, I've got it, I don't need any help. But as humans, we are emotional beings, and our emotions are built into the deepest, most fundamental part of our being, our body, our mind, our heart, our nervous system. They're the deepest, most biological expression of our past, present, and future experiences. That's how we know, engage what life is like. Do I feel happy? Do I feel sad? Is this good? Is it bad? It's what allows us to express our deepest wants, desires, and needs. Our emotions are at the expression of our deepest selves. So what connects two people together in a relationship are emotions. I fell head over heels. I fell in love. Love is an emotion. It's a feeling. It's an experience. And what has motivated some of the greatest research and stuff out there is emotions, right? How we get emotions, where they come from, what enables every human being to make decisions that feel right for themselves, right? Those gut feelings of decisions are based on emotions. So it's what gives life meaning. Emotions. So what it means, first of all, to have emotional needs, let's take a moment to consider what this means, what it means for you. You're human. But it also means that you're open to messages from your inner self, your higher self. You're open to connecting and being vulnerable, letting that wall down, and being honest with yourself and with others, trusting yourself and others. These are the ingredients that make relationships good, feel true, feel resilient, and just alive with richness. And these are paramount to having healthy emotional relationships, right? And to avoiding toxic ones and being able to emotionally thrive, express yourself, and really connect to yourself and others. So, do you have emotional needs? Yes, you do, because you're human. But the real question is whether or not you allow yourself to express them and you meet those emotional needs, or do you push them down, numb them out, and try to avoid them? So, back to what we were talking about initially, for people, children, humans who were raised to not have emotional needs, how do you even do that? Like, how do you raise a child that becomes an adult that now doesn't feel anything? Well, essentially, when that happens, you're raising your child to ignore, hide, or be ashamed of their emotional needs. And this enables the child to grow once in this space where they feel like their needs or beliefs don't matter, or to believe that they don't even have any feelings in the first place, to be codependent, dependent on other people to see, what am I supposed to feel? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to like or dislike? And leads people as adults to feeling like they're chameleons. Many, many, many well-meaning parents do this without intending to, or without even knowing that they're doing it. And sadly, when you hide, when you ignore, or even when you belittle, even subtly, your child's feelings, you inadvertently teach your child how to suppress their own emotions and emotional needs. And this is a lesson that sticks with us throughout our lifetime. It can be something as simple as a parent who's just overwhelmed and busy. They have, a job, they have other children, a roof over their head, right? And they say something as simple as like, stop. There's nothing to cry about. Gosh, you are so sensitive. Look at you. You're just a crybaby, right? Your brother doesn't cry like that. Why are you crying like that? That is childhood emotional neglect, or a CEN. And it sounds like the unintentional act of a loving parent. And it's generally not the case at all. Generally, the parents are just overwhelmed. They're busy. They need to move forward, but they put out comments like that. And it leads to this emotional awareness, or this understanding, or this knowledge of their child's needs, because they didn't receive it from their own parents. And it is phenomenal what comes up in a rapid transformational therapy session to see that what this child wants and needs, they didn't get from their parents because their parents didn't get it from their parents. And it's what's known as generational trauma, or trauma that's passed down. And the bottom line, you can only give to your children what you have to give. So it's not inevitably what was given, it's what wasn't given. But if you didn't have, your parents didn't have emotional respect, appreciation, the ability to be with their feelings, they weren't able to pass that down onto you. So it leads to the child not trusting their own feelings and avoiding any feelings at all, in the shame that their feelings are going to be wrong, and leading to this people pleasing, fixing kind of trait. So childhood emotional neglect is the adult's fear of being seen as needy. So that is where it really has the biggest impact and toll as an adult. So let's take this client, for example. We'll call her Susie. At 45, Susie has never been married. Deep down, she's always wanted to be married and in a relationship, wanted to have children and a family. And on the surface, she's worked really, really hard to hide that wish. She's successful in her career, very independent, makes a lot of money. And she's told many friends and family members, I don't have time for a kid. I've got more important things to do. And she is always career driven focus. She's got more important things to do to date. And when it comes up, when this topic of when are you going to get married, your clock is ticking, don't you want to have a family, comes up, her face turns bright red, and she just immediately changes the subject and avoids talking about it altogether. So that is an example of what it means to let yourself, either you want to have emotional needs, but you avoid them. First of all, Having emotional needs means accepting your own feelings, accepting that your feelings are real, are genuine, are authentic, and are worth attending to. It means realizing emotional needs are normal and healthy, and expressing them is a sign of strength. Vulnerability is strength, not seeing expressing your feelings as a weakness, as something that babies do or kids do. And it means that you're willing to take some risk. You're willing to jump into the deep end and let those walls down. Let yourself be seen for who you are. Let yourself be seen as human, as vulnerable, and knowing that it is okay. It's okay to want things. It's okay to want connection. It's okay to want comfort, love, support. It's okay to need things like attention, warmth, connection, instead of pretending that you don't want or need those things when deep down, that is what you long for the most. It is powerful to let your true, genuine, authentic feelings be seen, be heard, and be felt by others. And it's actually what makes others able to know you, the real you, the true you, and what makes you able to feel connection and empathy for other people. It's the glue and the cornerstone of healthy well-being. Most importantly, acknowledging your emotional needs. First of all, acknowledging. I always say A. A is the first letter of the alphabet. It stands for acknowledging and appreciating, accepting, and then expressing them. That is one of the single phenomenal ways to get those needs met. Acknowledge, appreciate, and accept those, and then express them. So learning how to do that can feel really difficult, especially if you were raised with parents who didn't give you the environment where you felt safe to do that, where they were busy and they said, I don't have time for this, let's go. And you're thinking, wow, they don't have time for me to express my sadness, my overwhelm with this when I'm a kid, I'm 5 years old. So no one's going to have time for me. And then you end up as an adult in relationships where you feel that they don't have time for you. And you feel that you're not worthy and deserving of time being spent on you. And when others start to do that, then you feel guilty and no, you avoid and you reject it. So this video again is all about being raised to have no emotional needs, the impact of childhood emotional neglect, and how it is linked and related to what you're feeling and experiencing in life today. You're looking for that healthy relationship, looking for healing. It all starts with taking a look within and taking a look at what you did receive and really those hidden areas and those things that you didn't receive when you were growing up by, most likely well-to-do, caring, loving parents. And it's especially relevant if you didn't have caring and loving parents. If you had a narcissistic parent, an alcoholic parent, then it's for sure that you were not given that safe space to express your emotions and your needs. And you need that today in order to have the best level of emotional mental health. So if you are interested in learning more about how I guide my clients to being in this space through rapid transformational therapy, through hypnosis, I would love to chat more. You can find links to connect in the description below this video. Otherwise, I hope that this has helped highlight a little bit about where those holes are missing for you and take a journey into filling those holes with healthy, positive things. Thank you, guys.